Hi guys, these are your handover videos for your Bailey Pursuit 560. So starting off at the front, you've got your hitch head here with black lever. Your black lever has to be up when initially getting hitched up, and it will sort of snap down once you're on, and it will expose a bit of green just underneath the red button, and that proves that it's on. You have 13-pin electrics on this caravan. Anything past 2009 is 13-pin, so make sure if you do have 7-pin for your car, you bring an adapter. You've got your handbrake just here. These handbrakes do have a little bit of a tendency, because they are on a gas strut, to just make sure that it's all the way pulled back when you initially are getting hooked on, because if you're using a motor mover or something like that, they can just tick back just a touch. And then you've got your jockey wheel, which goes up and down using this lever, and this allows it to get clicked up. Your jockey wheel is used to level the caravan, and then you have inserts, 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, and these are for your legs. You can get yourself either a 19mm drill bit, or the caravan comes with a leg winder to wind the legs down. Now these are only used for stabilization. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using these. So we are using our test equipment today. You can see here just next to your battery, which is being all nicely added, you've got your electric. Your electric plugs into here, and it's just a case insert it in. Got a little bit of a cut out here so that you can lock up that locker and not have to worry about it. Come around to the other side. You've got your insert here for your water pump. So your water pump will insert into this part. It operates on a trigger system, so you press it in and you can't remove it without pushing in the trigger. You'll need yourself an Akrol full of clean drinking water. Insert it into here. We're not running any water through it today, as it has just been drained off. I will show you the water pump inside and a few little things you may have to note. Just next to it, you've got your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of a boiler whilst operating on gas. Now, you don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Then just here, you've got your gas bottle locker. You've got a gas bottle just here with a gas hose that is connected. Either side, nice and connected onto the bottle as well. You can hand tighten that to an extent and then just nip it up using a spanner. Once that is on, twist the gas in the positive direction, and that will begin to feed gas through into the caravan. Make sure as well gas is nice and strapped up. And then right at the back of the caravan, you have these two parts here. These are your functions for your toilet. This top one is where you'll feed in water for your flush capacity. Get yourself something like a watering can to just feed this in, makes it so much easier to do it. You can hold around 10 litres of water inside the tank. Now, you may want to add some pink chemical as well, which acts as a bleach without being corrosive. I usually say do it similar to squash. You don't want it too strong and you don't want it too weak. So that feeds into there. And then just below it, you have your cassette toilet. To remove this, you press up, there we go, on this handle, remove it just like so. Now this handle can extend out into a suitcase if you were to pull it out a little bit more, making it that touch easier when you're getting to your emptying point. So, great camera skills. Twist this head to the side and then twist this cap off. Then what you want to do to empty is tilt, and at the same time continually press in that button to vent. Now what I would recommend is afterwards open up this cap here, twist it to the side, add in some fresh water, give it a swill out, and again tilt and vent. And then on your cap you have both measurements in imperial or freedom units and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical on that cap, insert that back into there, twist your head back to the side, push it in. Now you want to push it in so that this handle sits behind those white teeth. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so to fully empty this capacity, you have this little lead up here. Open that up and drain out any remaining water in the system. Underneath your right hand side bed, you have this here. This is your Truma combi boiler. Don't have to do anything with this here. The main thing I want to show you is this yellow switch valve. Now, that yellow valve is what will allow water to pass through the system. It's currently in the vertical position, meaning any water that is inside the system is being drained out. You want that off, or you want it in the vertical position almost permanently from about November to March, just to make sure that there's no water in the system and that the pipes don't freeze up and then burst. When you want water to come through, very simply, just flick it to the side. It can be either side, and that will allow it to pass water through. So that is one thing you do have to check. I am going to leave it in the vertical position. Then underneath your left hand side bed, you have all of your trips and fuses. Your trips all in the upright position, and all your trips in the fuses even in the correct position as well. If you need a little bit more information on that, there is plenty info in the book pack. Then just here you have your main control panel. You have a master switch just here, which you turn on and off. It's currently on, and you can see just here as well, it shows an accurate representation of the volts coming into the caravan, which is currently 13. However, that is showing the amount that is coming in from the mains lead. If you were to have this unplugged and on site and you would just press it on, it would show an accurate representation of the volts coming in from the leisure battery. You then have just here your light switch, so as you can see, on and off, and then you've got your awning light. Press that in, go to the outside, and you can see there, awning light is on. Then you have your water pump button. Now, you have to make sure that the yellow valve is in the correct position. You're plugged in and you have plenty of water inside the Acroll. You press in on that pump button and you come over to your taps, open up your tap in both the hot and cold position and let it run for about 30 seconds. If you haven't used the caravan in a little while, I'd recommend waiting about 2 to 3 minutes just to allow the water to pass through. Let the tap run, and what you want is a nice steady continuous stream. Just here, this is your water pump. So water pump connects outside. You have some electrical points on the top which line up. Insert it in, and then to remove it you press in on the trigger. You have this plastic cap here which goes over the top of the Acroll to just stop any nastiness getting in, and then at the bottom you have your strainer. Now it's very important that your strainer sits at the bottom of the water barrel, as otherwise it will just gasp air through. So very simple to use. Do have a little bit of a tendency to curl up, so just straighten them out before use, just so the strainer can sit at the bottom. But for the water, very nice and simple, just open it up. Then just above you have your Truma control panel. So goes to this green screen when it's turned off, press in and it will light up just like so. So anything underneath this line here is what you can select. I do apologise if I'm a little bit shaky. Right, first up you've got the caravan with the thermometer in it. So press in on that, and that is for the internal temperature of the caravan. Using this dial here you can choose what you select. It goes up to a maximum of 30 and starts at 5. So let's say I wanted to select 22, I'd press in on the dial and that selects it. If I go onto it again, you can see 22, and I can also get off using that back button. Next up, you've got the thermometer in the water. This is for your water temperature, so you can either have it off, eco, hot or boost. Eco will get the water to about 40 degrees, hot will get it to about 60, and boost will boost the temperature for about 15 minutes and then drop it back down to eco, which is ideal if you're wanting to use a shower or something like that. Next up, you've got your energy source. So this is what you're using to actually power the heating and hot water. So you can either use gas, a mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt, mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt, strictly electric with 1 or 2 kilowatts. So you've got the choice of either gas, mains, or a mixture of both. So for now, I'm just going to keep it on electric too. Then you've got your fan speed. So jotted across the caravan, you have these little vents, which is where your fans are, and that's where the hot air will be shot out of. So you can either have it eco or high. Then you can also set when you'd like the heating and hot water to come on. So if I were to have it on at a certain time, you know, I'd start it at a certain time, input what time I'd like it to start, and then input what time I'd like it to finish. Next up, you've got your time. So this is just to set the time. Now, you do have the choice of either 12 or 24-hour clock, which you can find in the additional settings, which has other bits such as language and screen brightness. Then to turn this board off, you just press and hold on the middle and turns itself off. Then just here you have your fridge operation. Now, I currently have the fridge operating on gas. So you can see here you've got a little dial with a red switch. That red switch is currently in the green position, which shows that it's lit on gas. When the fridge is on, lights come on. To select what source you want, use this dial here. You can either have it off, using mains, using car battery, or using gas, which I'm currently on. I'm showing you gas just because it's a little bit different. With mains or car battery, it's just a case you switch the dial and just select. For gas, you have these two buttons here. This is your power amount just here. Thicker the bar, more power coming in. And then you've got a gas igniter just here. To get gas lit on the caravan, you have to press and hold both of these in, and it will switch the dial into the green position. Now, it's not immediate. It does take about 30 seconds of holding it in. You want to hold it in until that red gets over to the green position and stays there. You want it firmly inside and then let go, and that will get it just there. You can see when I switch it over to mains, the dial drops out. So on mains, you just switch it and you can see nice and lit. Put it to the central position, doesn't operate. That battery is not your leisure battery, however, it is for your car battery. So that is for when you are towing the caravan itself and actually allowing you to get through. But yeah, very simple to use that as well. Just make sure you're plugged into the appropriate setting. Then just here we have your hob, grill and oven. Your grill and oven is on a mixed part rather than singular grill and singular oven. But all this is, it's a case you press in on the dial, twist it to the side, that will begin to feed gas through. And again, you've got a gas igniter here, press it in, hear the clicks. This is what it looks like when it's lit. And then you can see here all your rings operating as they should. Nice blue, clean, continuous flames. Switch it to the central position and turns it off. Again for the grill. And you can see here for the grill, both sides nice and lit. Put that to the central position. Then for the oven, it's a case twist it to the opposite side, press it in, and you can see here the oven nice and lit. Only other real thing to note, make sure you travel with this glass lid down. However, don't put the glass lid down until all of these are cold to the touch. Lastly, you've got your toilet operation, which you might say is bog simple. You've got this button here, which is your flush button. Press it in and you can hear that motor. That motor is what would push around any water inside the system. You then have the catch at the bottom, which you pull towards you and opens it up to your cassette toilet for all your pees, poos and whatevers. Push it away and shuts the catch up. Nice and simple.